So this is the intro already. I love it. This is a great intro because
I need to swallow.
Alright. Whew.
Right.
Right. Let me tell you, I'm so happy to have you on my channel with me.
Likewise, I'm happy to be here.
Really. And this is the perfect, I see it as an opportunity, and it's a measurement of growth, change, self-development, advancement.
Yeah.
We'll take that same energy and transform it into greetings from St. Lucia, my island home. Have to start it. Have to start.
My brother, my friend, my goodness, the story started in 2004 when I migrated to Antigua from St. Lucia to work as a flight attendant with Liat. And here I'm standing at the airport with 5 suitcases, and I'm seeing this guy standing there with little, these bags, what do you call it, these fancy ones. He's like, "Are you a new recruit for Liat?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah.
He said, "Where you going with all these bags?" I said, "Yeah, well," he said, "But St. Lucia is only 55 minutes away."
McNeil moved his entire life to Antigua, like if he was never ever going to return to St. Lucia again. Yeah.
What's your name?
A bit extra.
A bit extra. What's your name? I asked him.
Yeah.
I'm Julian Griffith.
Julian
I'm like,
Griffith. Yeah.
McNeil Griffith. So we were known as the Griffith brothers at Liat.
And that's where it started.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 18 years ago?
That's 18 years ago.
18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I don't even know where to start this because
I know there's so much ground to cover. Yeah.
a lot of ground to cover.
18 years of friendship is a long time.
Yes.
And the time has flown by like nothing.
Like nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought you would have been flying into St. Lucia for a 2-night layover
Yeah.
on a world-renowned international airline.
Yeah.
And here you are with me. I've left my flying career, and which you contributed immensely to.
Thank you.
And here you are. It's just surreal. Everything is just,
Yeah.
oh my God. We're making this as casual as possible. I want the story to be heard by people who are growing, those who have grown and will continue to grow, and even to younger ones who are embarking on the journey of the self, whatever discovery, whatever we're going to call it. Our story is a story to remind you, to inspire you, charge you up with whatever you make up your mind for, you will and you can do it. Because your soul guides you in many ways than you may even realize.
No, agreed. I think that our friendship, I'm sure you'll agree, has been really interesting in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the last 18 years, our friendships, I don't even know where to start.
That's the thing, I don't know where to start.
It's literally been crazy.
Yes.
Like throughout the 18
In the good
years,
sense.
In the good sense. Like we've always happened to be in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Always at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
the same place in our lives. And obviously, friendships, especially long-lasting friendships,
Mm-hmm.
you don't necessarily talk every day. Sometimes weeks might go by, sometimes even months have gone by and we haven't spoken. But whenever we reconnect, we're always literally at the same place in our lives all the
Yes.
time. Like almost parallel lives, really.
Parallel lives. Julian,
Yeah.
let's give them specifics. Maybe we could go in retrospect, or if we want to do it in order. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So Julian and I, one day, I'm in Singapore. I flew from Abu Dhabi into Singapore, and Julian randomly texts me,
Yeah.
"Hey,
Yeah.
what's up?" And he said it in a very nice way, in a very joking way. I'm not even saying what he said. And I said,
Don't.
"Biatch, you where?" in Singapore, where are you staying? And you were staying at Marina Sands.
Marina Sands.
Marina
I
Sands.
remember that. Yeah.
Yes, but we used to stay. I don't remember the name of the place we used to stay at. But here I am staying at that hotel, which is 5 minutes from Marina Sands.
Yeah.
And I took the taxi thinking, and I've been going to Singapore for so many years.
Yeah.
And I would take the taxi, and I just say, wait a minute. You just walk across. When we started walking later, we saw that it's my God, your hotel is right there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm in Singapore too. When are you leaving? And that was magic.
Yeah, we had an amazing time. I think that Singapore trip was it was really a full circle moment because again, like starting our journeys at Liat together, and then you sort of leaving and going on your journey on the cruise ships, and then on to flying. Subsequently, then me relocating to the UK and doing a few different jobs before I ended up flying again. So then sort of fast forward years later, for us to both be flying and meeting up in Singapore
on a layover.
It was really sort of a full circle moment. It was like that really was a defining moment for me, I think, for both of us, because it was like, this is the dream that we've both talked about, wanted to do, wanted to accomplish for so many years, and now here we both are doing it. And fate, not coincidence, because we don't believe in coincidence, and fate would have it that we would cross paths in Singapore, on the other side of the world.
Julian, I love how you presented it. Let's go back in retrospect to the 18 years ago when we met. We were just finishing our training. What you said about, it happened, and it's a moment, it's a surreal moment. We're in Singapore celebrating the dream come true.
The dream come true.
Years before that, we were in VC Bird International Airport, Antigua, and we were just finishing our training, and the Boeing 737 BWIA landed. And I said, oh my God, we were sitting there with Amanda and Luana, and I forgot who the fifth person was. But then the plane landed, and I said, oh my God, I would love to fly international. I didn't even start flying Liat yet. We were just finishing the training.
Yeah.
We were celebrating at Big Banana. That plane lands, and I say, I'd love to fly international, but I know it would be necessary to have citizenship in some country. Yeah. And you said, well, there are options. You said it in this order. You said there is Emirates.
He remembers the story in great detail.
Yeah, Emirates, Qatar, and Etihad. At the time, Emirates was about 15 years, I think. Qatar was 4 years old, and Etihad was 1 year. So I started following those airlines, and from then I said to myself, I must fly for one of them.
Yeah.
Destiny worked out so well. I ended up flying. I followed the dream. I ended up working in Qatar and Etihad.
Yeah. It's insane when you think about it,
On Qatar Airways, I flew into London many times, and I spent time with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing is, as much as we both wanted to fly internationally, and it was my dream as much as, it was McNeil's, in that moment in Antigua, I saw it more for you than I even saw it for myself.
You kept saying that.
So fast forward years later, you've flown for Qatar, now you're with Etihad. I'm now living in the UK. I hadn't started my flying journey yet. And I hadn't given up on it at all. It was always still very, sort of to the forefront of my mind, if you will. But at the same time, I was just kind of I wasn't sure that it was going to happen. Because so much time had passed, and life kind of gets in the way. You have all these dreams and goals you want to accomplish, and you get setbacks and disappointments, and I think your faith isn't as strong anymore. So in a large way, I was living my dream vicariously through you, because you were doing it. In my mind, it was a case of you were doing it for both of us. So and that's why I always celebrated you and every move and every accomplishment you made, within the airlines, because it was do it, live the dream for both of us kind of thing, So yeah.
And that's very, you find people always say, oh, my friends are not looking out for me, or you have jealousy and stuff around. I always tell people, you attract who you are, because you've been genuine along the way. And I know how I could say he's been genuine, I had gone for an interview with Emirates in Trinidad, and I'd been posting it all over my Facebook back then. Long story short, I didn't get the job. And then I showed my disappointment. I wrote something on my page and I said, you know what, every disappointment comes with a blessing at some point.
Yeah.
I may not understand it now. Then he reaches out to me and he says, you know what, I had just gone for an interview with an airline in England. I didn't get through, but I was watching your posts, just, supporting along the way. And look, you're very courageous, McNeil, because you didn't get through. And look, you're writing this. Or just letting you know, I had gone through as well. I didn't get through. And this is empowering what you're writing.
Yeah.
10 months later, I went to St. Lucia again on my vacation. And he writes me and he says, McNeil, Qatar Airways is employed. That time BlackBerry was still in use. You BlackBerry messaged me and you said to me, Qatar is going to Barbados. And he was in England at that time between his jobs. He wasn't even flying yet. And he's there. I've already, lived my dream on the cruise ship, been there, living my life. And he says, brother, you're going to Barbados. Because he knew I was in St. Lucia. No, I put a post, I'm heading home. So a supportive friend is, although he's not living his dream, he's helping me live my dream. I appreciated that. Then I went to Barbados, which is only 35 minutes away from St. Lucia. I got the job.
No, but I think it's important, that your friends are supportive. That's what friends are supposed to do.
Yes.
Because for me, it's, as the saying goes, if you're winning, then I'm winning.
Yes, I agree.
There's never been like a competitive spirit or a competitive nature between us. It's always been nothing but love and support.
Yeah, and support. You've done that all the time.
Of course.
And you mentioned something about the parallel, in your own words, you said parallel experiences. We are having similar experiences at the same time. Even when we were not in touch, maybe we didn't talk for 3 months, 4 months or whatever. And then every time I'm at a part in my journey, my trip, I call it my adventure, you're going through something similar in your own way.
Yeah.
And
I think we know the universe doesn't make mistakes, and timing. I've learned over my life that timing is everything. So whether it be, the job you're going after, I don't know, the house you're trying to acquire, the new business, whatever, a no is not always a definitive and definite no. Sometimes no just means not right now.
Or a diversion,
Absolutely, And I think that's so crucial for people in general to know, So the setbacks and disappointments I had, and disappointment is part of the human condition, right? You want something, you're passionate about something, it doesn't work out. Of course, it's going to be disappointment, because your disappointment is directly tied into how much you want that thing. So allow yourself to feel that disappointment, and to work through your feelings and process everything that's going on. But that no doesn't necessarily mean no or never.
Or never,
Just
and
not
the
right
journey
now.
is about you, while at the same time the contradiction is it's not about you, it's for other people.
Well, exactly. It's about within those moments of no and disappointment, it's about going, okay, I feel like this now, this is what's happened, but more importantly, what is the lesson in this I'm supposed to learn?
You're growing.
Because everything that happens to you, like I said, we know there's no such thing as coincidence. Everything that happens to you, there's a lesson in it for you, right? And everything that happens is preparation for what's to come next.
Yes.
In the moment, we don't know that, because obviously we don't have the ability to see future. But as time and things unfold, you look back and you recognize, that's why that happened. The way it happened,
I want to add, when I didn't get through with Emirates, I was so passionate, I had so much faith, as I always do in every endeavor, and I get through. I didn't get through, and I said, oh my goodness, but I didn't ask why. But something on the inside was telling me, this is for your future, get ready for it. You'll be helping somebody along the way. You love to motivate, you love to inspire. And then years later, I could tell people, I didn't get through with Emirates, and I got into Qatar and Etihad, only to discover that the standard that Emirates operates from, it wasn't a match to me, because I had so many friends from Emirates Airlines years later. And on top of that, when I first tried for Etihad from Qatar, I didn't get through. And I took a leap of faith a year later to go for it again. So I've been able to inspire somebody and say, girl, boy, don't take this personal, you didn't get through. Do you want the job? Try again. I've been through it. And look at me, I've lived it. I mean, it's just, everything is Oh my God, the universe is so friggin' grand, man.
I think our only job is to, once you put out into the universe what you want, your only job is to believe that it's going to happen, and despite the setbacks and disappointments, continue to work towards it.
How much do you really want it? How much do you want to eat?
You don't need to know the why, the how, the pieces are going to come together, how it's going to work out. You just need to know you want it and work towards it. And that's what faith is about.
That's what faith really
not
is.
having all the answers.
Right.
You know?
Trusting, like
The
you said,
process.
trusting the process, or how it's said in spirituality or in Christianity, I should say, for that matter. You have to trust God even when you kind of trace God.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's working out
Yeah.
for your good ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust the process and trust yourself. That's it.
Trust yourself. My big thing, you know me on that already.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. Julian, this is such a beautiful exchange, and every time we get into conversations, the way we operate, the two of us are so crazy. We go into a laughter rampage. We'd have one deep discussion, and it's always a deep exchange.
Yeah. No, I
Because it's
agree.
never draining, I find. With you over the years, I've never found you to be someone, you meet people, I'm not judging anybody here, but you
Yeah.
meet people and you go like, oh my God, a drain. But with you, it's always impactful. It's always an exchange. And it always encourages. We both leave each other like, oh my God, I appreciate you, bro. I
Exactly.
love
'Cause
you,
I feel
brother.
the same way about you, you know. I mean, McNeil wanted to do this video. He knows that I'm kind of like
Camera
a little-
shy.
Yeah, a little camera shy, reluctant to get on camera and stuff like that. But he felt it was so important, for us to share, kind of like a really natural conversation between us because, in his own words, we're always like dropping gems. so to
Yes.
speak.
And then we jump
People
into
could use.
a laughter. We start to talk some
Absolutely.
nonsense to
So-
crack down the place.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Man, let me tell you. I don't even. This is crazy. 18 years ago, and now he's sitting here in St. Lucia, in my country.
Yeah.
You're from Barbados.
Another full circle.
Another
moment.
full circle moment.
Yeah.
You're on a layover here. I'm in a new chapter of my life. I'm committing my entire self to inspiring, motivating, lifting people up. This is my life calling. I've accepted it, and to have you be present to observe it happening. When you came here 2 weeks ago, you told me what you told me about what you see in me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you, because this is what I see here too. And and it's funny that we have the same last name, Griffith, the Griffith brothers, the Griffith boys, flight attendant Griffith.
Again, no coincidence. Life brought us together
Yeah,
for a reason,
yeah,
or
yeah,
for
yeah.
several reasons, rather. No coincidence.
So I'll ask you a question to say to the audience. What
Yeah.
would you say? You've already said it in many ways in the discussion, but what would you say? However, not but. I don't like the word but. However, what would you say to a person at mid-age? Okay, a person at their 30s, someone at 25, and then someone at 21 just beginning, and who has that fire inside and they want to express something, whether it's a flight attendant, a doctor, a stripper, a dancer, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever the endeavor is. What would you say to that person? It was my question because you already said about not giving up. What would you say to such a person who's on the beginning or the middle of the journey, or somewhere, maybe they're just getting out of a relationship and they're in
Right.
pain, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to encourage somebody out there?
Um,
What a long question. As usual, I like to.
it's a multi-part question, definitely. I think for the younger people, I think coming into the world as a young gentleman, young lady, whatever, it's filled with many challenges, and it's often complicated, because you're trying to navigate yourself in a world with lots of challenges, and at the same time you're just sort of trying to figure out who you are as a person, which is difficult enough, on its own as it is. So I will say, expect yourself to make mistakes. And I say mistakes because there's no such thing as a mistake.
You're learning.
Exactly. Every quote unquote mistake you make is it's a learning opportunity, really. It's about just being able to identify what the lesson is that you're meant to learn and take that lesson forward with you. Added to that, give yourself grace. give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. You know, as a young person now starting out, because I guarantee you that all the adults that you look up to, the older people you look up to that you think, you know, got their life so together, and you know, I guarantee you that they don't. Every one of us is still out here
at my
trying
age,
to
I
figure
know
it
that.
out. Absolutely, right?
We're just learning.
We're learning, and every time you think you've got it, then life will throw you another curveball, right? Because it's a continuous process. So as a young person, definitely give yourself grace. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just like I said, try to find a learning point in whatever it is, and move on, right? Just take that learning lesson with you.
Stay enthusiastic.
Absolutely, stay enthusiastic. For someone sort of, as you said, sort of like in the middle of their journey, whatever, I also say give yourself grace as well, because you've probably made a lot of, again, mistakes along the way. You've had a lot of disappointments, setbacks, whatever. You know, we know that some of the stuff that life throws you can kind of wear you down. So give yourself grace. We're all trying to figure it out. We've all had setbacks, you know. And I think, like, at that point in your life, it's so easy to say, well, it hasn't happened yet. You know, I wanted to achieve X, Y, Z by the time I was 25, by the time I was 30, you know. I'm 40 now, or in my 50s now. It's probably never going to happen. It's so easy to kind of give up and throw in the towel. But again, it's important to recognize that everybody's journey is different.
Right, because then we have the tendency to look at somebody, but they've done it already.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
And that's such a key point, because comparison is like the number one killer for motivation. You know, because you've achieved it at 25. I think I'm a failure because I haven't at 40. But your journey is not my journey.
Everybody's journey is their own journey. You could be inspired by another, but you don't have to compare yourself to another.
Absolutely. And also the perception that I have of you as being successful, it might not necessarily be an accurate perception at all. You know, so again, don't compare yourself to other people. Yeah, stay focused. And like I said earlier, you know, it's not your job, it's not our job to have all the answers as to how this is going to work or why. We just need to keep, you know, keep pushing forward.
Man, this is inspiring, man.
Yeah, just keep pushing forward, you know, for what it is that we want. Yeah.
And the person who seems to think they're at the end, like you just said something that's incredible. You said you think that the people who are older than you, they have it figured out. Well, now that I've matched up, or I'm catching up now with refinement. I don't call it age. How many years refined, not old. Yeah, you begin to realize, wait a minute. What? My mother at that stage in her life, that's what was going on. I thought she had it figured out. Oh my God, I can now say wow, because now in my age, I'm like, okay, I haven't figured it all out. I'm learning, and it's just life. We're human.
Yeah.
Stay awake. You're human.
And I think very importantly, for everyone in every age bracket, the recognition that you are enough.
You are enough.
Simply put, you are enough.
Profound.
Yeah, because you know, it's simple, but it's something that, you know, it carries so much weight, because you're you know, you look around again, you know, you compare yourself to other people, or sometimes, you know, you're in a job, you know, you're that employee that constantly goes above and beyond, you know, you sacrifice everything for the company, but you get overlooked for that promotion, or, you know, in terms of reward and recognition, you know, you don't get that recognition that you perhaps deserve, and it's so easy to feel demotivated, or like you're not good enough. You know, what am I not doing? You know, why is this other person blah blah blah? You know, but just recognize that you are enough. You might be in a space where the people around you, so maybe your boss, your friendship circle, your family, or whatever, they're not as much as you are. True. So they don't recognize that you're enough, because their capacity is smaller than yours.
Different. Yeah, I call it different levels of consciousness.
Absolutely.
Wow. And that's where I'm at in my life now. I'm just appreciating everybody for who they are, and I'm accepting and acknowledging that we have different levels of consciousness. So as a result of where we're standing consciously, it creates the what our output is, or what our life experience is. And wow, it's just, life is a mystery, and we're discovering, we know what we know right now,
Yeah,
to discover more. And My consciousness is not your consciousness. Your reality is not my reality. What I project towards you is based on my understanding, and what you project towards me is based on yours. And it's wow.
And also, I mean, like we were discussing before we started doing this recording, you know, on your way to, on your journey and on your way to accomplishing whatever goals you have set for yourself, it's also important to recognize, like I said earlier, that not everyone is meant to reach the top with you.
Wow, you said that this morning. Not everybody's meant to reach the top of the mountain with you. So you have to know when to say, I'm saying toodles and I'm moving on my journey. That's so profound.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can use the analogy of an elevator.
The elevator one, you said it,
Right?
yep.
Let's use that analogy, you know. So if you think, you know, you're starting here on the ground floor or in the lobby of the building, right? You get on the elevator and, you know, loads of people get on, right? You get to the first floor and what happens?
Some get off,
Some get off.
but your plan is to go higher. So
Right. But you're going to the fifth floor, which is the top floor, but there's some people who have to get off on the first floor because what they need to do is being done on the first floor. Maybe their offices are on the first floor, maybe, you know, they're going to visit people on the first floor, but that's the end of their journey. But you're continuing, and you've also gotten what you need for the net. So you continue up, right? Now, again, everyone is different and everyone's journey is different.
Yes.
For some of us, when you leave the first floor, the elevator is going to go straight to the fifth floor. And that's your journey, right?
wow.
Your rise to the top, you know, might be smooth because maybe you have in your lifetime where you're at, you've got everything you need for your particular journey. So you go straight to the fifth floor. For some of the people, the elevator is going to stop on the second floor.
Wow.
And some more people need to get off. Because you've got what you needed to learn from those people in your life, and you need to shed that weight, right? Now, equally, some more people might get on at the second floor who are going up with you, because now you need to learn things from those people, and perhaps
Boy,
those
you didn't break it down that much this morning. This is friggin' profound.
right? And those people now need to, you know, impart some knowledge, some wisdom, some whatever with you, and you might have stuff that they need to learn from you before they can get off at their stop,
This stop might be the fourth floor.
right? And then you're gonna have a very small selection of people that will go to the fifth floor with you,
Oh my God.
right?
I love it.
Now, sticking with that analogy, if you throughout your journey you get on at the first floor and you're trying to carry everyone that gets on that elevator up to the fifth floor, right? Sometimes elevators still beyond capacity. And you're either going to get stuck at a floor where the elevator just won't go any further,
Hallelujah.
or it might break.
Wow.
And if it breaks, you fall right back into the lobby again. Because you're trying to take people along with you on your journey that are not meant to go the complete way with you.
My goodness. You know, I'm not, 28, it gives us 29 minutes. So I just friggin' love what you gave there. I don't mean to interrupt, it's just the camera gives that a certain amount of time.
But also, really quickly, right, as as we're having a discussion now, when the elevator gets to the fifth floor, right, I'm a firm believer in this. You know there's going to be someone in the lobby waiting to get on to start their journey, right? Once you make it to the fifth floor, ride the elevator back down to the lobby and pick that person up. Give that person a hand and teach them everything that you've learned on your journey up. Because I think so many of us become successful, particularly from our community, and we don't go back to help.
So I'm doing the right thing.
And I think that's so important to go back.
I love this.
Yeah.
Guys, oh my God, I'm gonna upload it on the thing, and we're gonna continue, because we have to do a laughing rampage, right? We have to show them the challenge.
Cheers.
Wow.